Hey guys, Wisco Southpaw here. Thanks for joining me for another knife overview. Today what I've got to show you is the Hogue Deka. And let's just take a little walk around this thing. Of course, ambidextrous pocket clip. So I was really excited about this one because there's a couple of them. There's another one coming up that I have coming up that is just a new blade steel for me. So this is a CPM MagnaCut 3.25 inch CPM MagnaCut blade in a Wharncliffe shape. You can call it whatever you want. Reverse Tonto, right? Sheep's foot, Wharncliffe. It's got a cool little compound. Is that a compound? I've looked at this closely. It almost looks like it just starts the flat grind at different spots on the blade. Kind of gives it a cool look. It's an Leishowitz design there, as you can see. So yeah, 3.25 inch blade. The closed length is 4.25 inches, which gives you a full length of 7.5 inches. So it's not quite a full-size knife. It's what I would call a really nice EDC type size of knife. The really cool thing that I like about this thing is, some people, depends on what you use your knives for, right? This thing is super thin. It is 0.094 inches thick, and that, I believe, is at its thickest point. So you get down here to the edge. This thing is a slicer, man. You got the MagnaCut blade steel plus how thin the blade is. This thing is going to make quick work of all of your Amazon boxes. Any food prep you might want to be doing with it. I wouldn't go try to chop a tree down with it, obviously. That's definitely not what this is built for. But if this is just what you want to use to carry around, just to do your general, easy, everyday EDC tasks, this thing is going to slice right through it. I thought that was really neat. This is a very, very slicey blade. It's got the Able lock, which is the everybody has a different name for their crossbar lock, for their, axis lock, which what Benchmade called it. Everybody's got a different name. So Hogue uses the name Able. So it's the Able lock. And another great thing about this knife is that it is made in the USA. So you got that right there. USA. Can you see it? All right. So yeah, it's a very light knife. I'm trying to remember. I think it was like, oh my gosh, I think it's under 3 ounces. This thing is super, super, super light. I will say that when you hold it, you can feel it. You can kind of feel the weight. Even though the blade is really thin, you can feel the weight in that blade, because what you've got here is just these are just black polymer scales. There is a very, I think some milling in there. So there are liners in there, obviously, but they're set back. And it's just, I don't even know. Yeah, so even, I don't know where the center point would be. If I can even find it here, it's probably right over the Able lock. But anyways, yeah, you really feel the blade's a little heavy, even though it's thin, because these scales are so light. But some people might like that. It's a very light knife, and it's a very thin blade stock. So it's a functional knife. I like it. There are some other knives, I think, in this category that I like a little bit more. But really, the value in this knife was right here. The value in this knife was in the MagnaCut blade. It's for the price that you're paying, made in the USA knife. Yeah, I would say it's a very good value. And certainly one that would be fine to carry around, especially with the blade steel. I mean, you could, you've got you got your QS, you got like the CVV Elementum, right? You've got the, a lot of these knives out there, the Voseed Raccoon. Why can't I think of the QSP that everybody has? The Penguin, right? I think those function maybe a little bit better than this. Of course, maybe I could mess around with the pivot collar a little bit and maybe get the action to work a little bit better. But for the blade steel, that's because none of those knives have MagnaCut. I mean, you might be able to buy some of them in MagnaCut, but they're not going to be. They're going to be a little, quite a bit pricier. So to get this knife at this price point, and guys, I tell you how much I paid for it, but I can't remember at the moment. Maybe I'll put that in post here. But yeah, it was a good value knife. I do have another. I have the X5, the Hogue X5, which I also, that knife I like also. It's got aluminum scales. So yeah, the Hogue Deka in MagnaCut. So that's what I've got for you today, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.